How long have you had them? Were they babies when you found them?
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
Yeah. There he is. I've got some others to put them with.
Hi.
Hey.
Mr. Mine is a videographer. He's been doing some videos for us.
Oh, don't do me, man. I've been in the garden.
He's been in the
You're
garden.
beautiful.
He's been working.
We're looking for workers. We're not looking for dressed up business people. We're looking for God's people who save critters and stuff like that.
Well, look. In that back seat there.
What you got in the back seat?
Picture.
Oh,
See
your
one.
pictures?
Buddy, if I'd known I was going to get
What? You're lying.
photographed,
You look great.
I would have dressed a little better.
No, you wouldn't have. What's your name, sir?
Jim Waters.
Jim, you live here in Daleville or
No, I lived in Pinkard,
Pinkard?
and I've been doing this 16 years.
Uh-huh.
Working with the Fish and Game Department, and reached a point where it just was overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, this time last year had 26 squirrels.
Yeah.
And so, what have you got down at the?
Well, we've got some possums and we got a couple of baby crows. And we just got in a hummingbird and a barred owl. And we had.
You have any deer?
We released our 4 deer that we had last year. Yeah.
Would you consider? Let me have a couple. They start coming in. They come in the fall. Don't they?
They come in July and August. Usually.
Think about maybe.
You got a place to release them, or?
I got a place to keep them and raise them.
Oh, and raise them.
Nice place.
Well, they do a lot better when they're in groups of 6 to 7. Otherwise, they imprint really easy.
Okay.
We don't want to do that. I mean, you're welcome to come over and feed ours anytime, and and if maybe for the first few weeks or something, if you want to bottle feed them, we can do that. But we really do a lot better when they're 6 or 7. Yeah. Then they bond to one another as a unit, and they don't take us as part of the herd. Because I had 4 this year, and I could tell such a difference that they thought we were part of the herd. And the ones that I've had that had bigger groups, they don't care anything about us. They know we bring the food in, but they're more fun with each other, not us. birds are hungry.
Now, how'd you get their ravens, right?
A crow.
Crows.
Yeah, they're.
How'd you get them?
Somebody over in Dothan had found them and brought them to us. They didn't know where the nest was or anything, but when I got them, they didn't have any feathers on them. And, oh, I do remember, they had cut down a tree, and these guys fell out.
Yeah.
And they left them out there for the mom to come to see if she'd feed them before they tried to put them up in another nest, and they said that they wouldn't, so they brought them to us to raise. Yes, and you guys got messy faces. Got to get all that food off their feathers so it doesn't damage the feathers. They're so intelligent. He's checking you out as much as you're checking him out. All right. Yeah, well, okay there. No, you don't want to go in there. You don't want to see what I've got in there. Well, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a ruby. Ruby-throated.
How do you tell how old they would be? Just estimate?
By the colors, I mean, I can't tell you exactly how many years it is or whatever, but by the coloration.
So what are you going to do now for this little bird?
I'm just going to give him some fresh food. They require a nectar, and this particular nectar spoils pretty fast within about 6 to 8 hours. So we replenish it a couple of times a day, and then we'll put some fruit out and try and catch some fruit flies. On a really nice day like this, we might be able to get some, because they also need the protein, but you can't feed them sugar water or the red nectar for any length of time because it kills their kidneys. I mean, it damages them really bad. So we don't recommend that anybody put any of the red dye stuff in the feeders. But
So the stuff they buy at the store, does that have the red dye in it? Or
a lot of it does.
So they start checking and make sure that, if it's got red dye in it, don't buy it.
Yeah, you don't have to have the red dye. It's more the color of the little flower or something that's going to attract them. Okay. It can be the clear stuff, which is much better for them. But none of these hummingbirds should have that as a sole diet. A lot of people think that that's all they're eating because they see them all day long coming back. But they eat lots of little insects and stuff for the protein, and they need a lot of other things. They just...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. Go ahead.
It just thought of a question. But it is important that people do feed them, though, correct?
It is. I mean, yeah, it's nice because it gives them an energy, because they expel a lot of energy, and that's what that sugar does for them and everything. But it does. We do know that a lot of it, if they had them in captivity, which is of course illegal, but if they had them in captivity and they were just giving them sugar water, they won't last very long. And they don't do well in captivity anyway. They just, they're not happy just being able to, or having to just sit there.
I don't blame them.
So, but we'll try. We'll give him some time to see.
I see that right wing.
The right wing's fine,
but the left one doesn't even move.
Yeah, the left one. I'm gonna try and bandage it up to hold it for a while, and it could be that it's badly bruised, but I seriously think it's broken.
Yeah, because it's not even moving. It's hanging. The feathers don't even look good like they...
Which tells me that the nerves and the ligaments are damaged in it too.
So what would be the prognosis for a little guy like this?
Most of the time they end up having to be euthanized because they just will start going downhill. And I kind of watch them. I mean, certain animals can go into depression and they'll just will themselves to die, but sometimes it's just really a slow process, and we don't want to do that. Right. But we're going to give him some time to make sure about that wing. They're very hard to wrap them. They get their little feet caught up in the vet wrap or whatever, the tape, whatever we put on it to wrap it. Plus you have to be very careful and cautious not to put anything on there with strong adhesive that's going to pull those feathers out when we take it off, because their little feathers are so tiny. But we're going to do what we can. and see. But if
How long have you had this little guy?
I just got him yesterday. He came in
Yesterday.
yesterday. The lady had had him for about a week, and she was feeding him sugar water,
Okay.
which, you know, that's all she had. And I told her that, you know, that it will damage the kidneys, but I immediately started on this other nectar. And I have problems. There's a little fly. Where'd you go? Sorry, I was getting excited. I found a little fly I was going to put down there for him. Maybe he'll come over and get on that fruit after a while, and he'll get it. But I have to buy this nectar, and it's only made over in Germany. And of course, then we have to get the fruit flies and stuff like that, and that's kind of tricky sometimes. But
He wants to fly so
he
bad.
does. They're just, you know, their whole life is flying. I mean, they fly for miles and miles.
Yeah, aren't they like from Mexico? Or...
Further south, all the way
Really?
down into South America, some of them. Yeah, and we have some here that are even, that stick around during the winter. I'm not real up on all the different species that migrate through here and that do stick around, but I know that there's a couple of specialists that research, they're biologists that follow the hummingbirds, and they always say if we see them in November and December to let them know if they're still, you know, hanging out, but it's not unusual to have them here. Fallen out of the tree, and we've had them for about 2.5 weeks, so they were really young when we got them. But the family said they couldn't get it back up into the tree, and it was when the bad weather was out. So we took them in, and we'll raise them till they're old enough to be on their own, which is usually about 12 to 14 weeks. Yeah. You have a friend now. Come here, little one. Come here.
Got to stay in front of the camera. You
I
want
was
to run
trying
the
to
camera.
see your pretty face.
Yeah. Pretty girl. Pretty girl.
What is she now, about 9 weeks?
Roughly? Yeah.
Pooping everywhere.
Oh, she does.
There you go. None of these are eating formula anymore, so well, you'll be nice. You'll be nice to those babies. They're a little younger than you. At least you'll have something to snuggle with tonight. Little squirrels can be so destructive. Oh, he's come. Where'd the other one go? Oh, okay. You be nice, or I'll let your little butt go today. Yes, I will. You're almost ready anyway, aren't you, buddy?
What is his problem?
There's some damage to the wing. I feel some swelling. I don't feel the fracture. He too is going to, or she, I think. She's a big girl, so I think it's a female. Hold on, sweetheart.
And that's a barn owl?
No, barred.
Barred.
Barred owl.
A barred owl.
One of my favorites. Sit down, sit down. She's real tender on the one wing at the wrist.
How'd you get her?
A lady found her along the side of the road, so we think that she was hit by a car. It was over a week ago, and they tried to put her back up in the tree, but she never left.
Yeah.
And they said that she tried to fly and seemed to favor one side. But I'm going to take her in and have hers x-rayed too, because there's swelling there. I don't feel a fracture, but there's definitely swelling there. And I don't want to stress it anymore. So we'll have it x-rayed on Monday. And we've been just trying to stabilize her. She did eat good last night. And I'm giving her just a little bit more. This is IV fluids, which she doesn't like me opening her mouth. But there you go, baby. It's lactated ringers, and she's come out of it really nicely, though. But isn't she beautiful?
She is. She's gorgeous.
They're a very sweet bird to deal with. They do a great job education-wise.
Now, barred owls, they're common to this area.
Uh-huh.
They're nocturnal.
Yes.
And
Well, they're diurnal. They'll come out during the day too, but it's usually late morning, or early morning, late evening. That's usually when they get hit by cars.
Yeah.
You see the rodent run across the road or anything. But it's my understanding that they get the barred, because it looks like bars across their back, which are kind of hard to see, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just beautiful. And I don't know if she'll let me show you her ears or not, but they have very large ears. And we usually show them. It's right there.
Oh,
See
wow.
that?
I guess.
And they're not in the same place on the head. They're at different levels so that their echolocation, they can find things better. But they just never seem to mind us showing those ears when we use them for education. But hopefully we're going to be able to release her, because I have a feeling she probably has a nest somewhere, because she is an adult.
And their nesting periods are when?
Most of the raptors, like the eagles and stuff, they start laying in January. And so the babies would have been hatching out late part of March. I'm not sure specific time periods, but they would be nesting as well right now.
So it's possible that she's got babies somewhere.
Yeah, and was
Oh,
probably
that's
hunting
sad.
for them, So hopefully the mate can handle the job. But once I know for sure if that wing is broken or not, then I'll know, what we should do. It may be just that she needs a little bit of time to, maybe a bad bruise. Like I said, I cannot feel the fracture, but and she does stretch it out on her own, but I don't want her to put any stress on it until I know for sure whether it's broken or whether it's just a bad bruise.
Tell me about Crash. I know that she's been released.
Yeah, she went back where she came from. It was on a dirt road right next to a pond, which is where they found her. And you could tell that after we released her, the little girl, the daughter of one of the moms that found it, we put her on her arm, and she stayed there for a few minutes, and then took off and flew out to a dead tree. And then it was like you could just kind of see her. She just perked up and is like, I know this territory. So it was very successful, and she flew off, and it was a great place because there's a pond there, and lots of mice and smaller birds and stuff. But she was healthy when she left here. All right. All right, you're gonna jump up there. Get up your perch. All right, come on. I know you don't want me to mess with your wings. I know. Yeah, easy does it. Let me get my other one. I know you don't like it, buddy. Okay. I know. Just let me have your Jessies. Have your Jessies. Stay still. Oh, you're getting all dirty. You're getting all dirty. You're all dirty. Hi. I'll be out in just a minute, guys. Come on. You sit up here. See, he doesn't want to perch on my hand because it's not natural for him. He doesn't feel comfortable with it. Come on. Sit up here. Come on. No biting. Not today. See, where he's getting tight is right here at the elbow. And it wasn't that way in the beginning, so I don't know if he's re-injured it or what.
It's good that he doesn't want. Usually, I would say that when they're in captivity for a while and they're cared for by a certain person, that they want to be held. But he don't want anything to do with it.
No, we only interact with him when I do this and when we feed him, and that's it. I mean, we really give them their space. We don't want them to like us. But you can see how many feathers he's missing.
Yeah.
Got any new ones coming in? Nope. Not yet. He actually lost a couple on the right-hand side too that I didn't realize were damaged, but they were shattered the same way. So whatever he hit it hard on his wings, because we didn't have any other damage. He's got a couple of healed blisters that were coming up on his feet. You see one on that bottom talon there. He had pulled all the bark off of his perch here, and it was too smooth, so he wasn't getting enough air underneath his talons. So we put the AstroTurf on there so he could get air, and now they're healed up all very nice, because it's a very painful. He didn't have it bad, but did notice that he had it. Aren't you gorgeous? Aren't you gorgeous? Yeah, if he's not releasable, it's going to take a lot of work to get him to trust, because we haven't tried to earn that trust. Wait a minute, buddy. Here.
Well, it's too soon because you really do plan on.
Well, we never planned on. Yep. Hey, 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 hey. Come on. Okay, if you let go of me, I can set you up there. Gotta let go. Let go. Let go. And I want him to have that spirit. I don't, you know, he needs that. That's why we're going to go ahead and have it x-rayed and see what's going on, why he won't exercise it. Because it doesn't seem to bother him. Sometimes it feels a little tense,
Well, maybe.
but we'll see. You've been eating some of the food I sent out for you too. That's good. I love these birds. They're a shy bird, but I love their feet, because in the water they kind of look like a plant.
Okay, so how do you get, you know that this is going to be a show bird, how do you get your show birds ready for your education programs?
Well, this...
Get them used to people, or?
Yeah, but this bird is such a shy bird by nature that I really don't think he's going to be a bird that we could do programs with, meaning taking him to different places. I think he's going to be more of an exhibition bird. People who come here can see him. But I've never had a coot before this year. We've had 2 of them. The other one healed up fine, and he was just bruised pretty bad. I think he came down too hard when he landed, because they're very awkward landing.
Yeah, I read a lot. Since I seen the other one, I read on them, and they can't take off very well either.
No.
They crash a lot. That was funny that I read about them.
Wow, I really had a great time this week at the Big Bend Wildlife Sanctuary. I got to meet Jim Waters, a great guy, a great rehabber, and of course Terry. She's the best. Very, very intelligent, loves the animals, cares for the animals, and I just like being around her and John, because their hearts are in the right spot. But if you get a chance, stop by Big Bend Wildlife Sanctuary and meet Terry and John Morse. It's located at 1034 County Road 445 in Enterprise, Alabama 36330. It's really on the Enterprise and Level Plains line, but if you need to call them, it's 334-447-8110, or you can get them on the web at www.bigbendwildlife.com. And we're going to leave you with some pictures that we took this week, and hopefully you'll stop by. Maybe you'll even want to help out and come and volunteer, or come up with a donation. Have a party in your neighborhood and donate the money to Terry and John to help with the vet bills and stuff. That all comes out of their pockets. This is a non-profit 501c3a corporation, and they could sure use your help. So this is Al Vine saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you the next time here in the great outdoors at the Big Bend Wildlife Sanctuary. See ya.